I believe envy can be a powerful guide, a profound guide, and it can be guiding you towards meaning. But one must be very careful because envy is a sin. One must not let envy corrupt them, and one must realize that you have to know an awful lot about somebody before you can truly understand them. Now, social media in this day and age, I believe, breeds a lot of envy. And that is not always a good guide because the envy that social media can breed is envy which gives the false impression that believing that someone else is happy when they are not, believing that someone else's life is all sunshine and rainbows because all you get is their highlight reel. That is when envy can be a bad guide because you believe that they're happy and you believe if you do that which they do, then you will be happy. But you don't understand, one, that they may not even be happy, and two, the things that they're doing, that they're posting about, may not be what is giving them happiness. And thirdly, it may not be what will give you happiness. You may just want it because you envy their quote unquote happiness. So you have to be very careful. But the times I believe envy can be a guide is when you see somebody doing something that you want to do, that you truly want to do. Say it's, go visit a country. Say you see somebody in Rome and you've always wanted to go to Rome and you feel envy because they're in Rome and you've never been. That can be a guide to tell you what you should do. Or they're pursuing a job that you've always wanted to do. Or actually, a better example would be that they just recently quit the job. Your coworker just quit his job and you're envious of him because he quit. Because you want to quit. You want to do something. He's pursuing his dreams and you're envious of him because you believe you can't quit. You believe you can't pursue your dreams. So you allow envy to come over you. And this is when it can get bad because then you can start tearing down your coworker who you envy because he is doing something which you don't think you can. And then you'll start placing limitations on him. That's really what people do when you tell them your ideas. They'll place their limitations on you. You'll tell them if you're sharing your dreams or your passions or new business or whatever it may be that you're going to do, and if you share someone with that, their brain immediately goes to themselves. It takes the idea that you're presenting and it says, "What if I tried that?" And it sees the limitations that one has and it places it on you. And they say, "Oh, that won't work because this is going to happen, that's going to happen, this may happen, that may happen." But that's really just their limitations. And they're envious because you're doing something that they don't think they can do. They want to do, they dream of doing it, but they don't think they can. They don't think they're smart enough, or they don't have enough courage to leave their job, or they're in a situation where they can't leave. They have a family to provide for, whatever it may be. But that is when envy is bad. But if you can be self-aware enough to understand that that's what's happening inside of you, that, oh, I'm envious because he is doing something that I want to do. I shouldn't be mad at him for that. I shouldn't place my limitations on him for that. And I shouldn't even be envious of him for that because that is something which I can do. And you can flip envy on its head and make it a guide towards meaning and towards what, your soul is yearning for. But as I've said repeatedly in this video, it is a very, very hard thing to do, and one must be very cautious because envy is very dangerous and very bad because, well, also, I believe it's the saddest of the sins because, especially in this day and age, as I was saying, with social media portraying an image of people that they are happy, one person may envy this person because they see that he seems like he's happy doing this, that, and the other. And then that same person can envy this person because he sees that he's doing this, that, and the other. And they both appear happy to each other, but they're actually both not happy. So it's sad when one person envies another person, and that same person envies that person because both aren't happy because they don't have what the other person, or they both aren't satisfied, they don't have meaning, they're not happy because they don't have what the other person has. But in reality, they both wish that they had what the other person had. So that just goes to show you that if they switched roles, they'd be in the same position. They wouldn't be happy. They'd wish they had what they had. They wish they wish they had what they had, which is very sad when you think about it. One allows oneself to be depressed and sad, yearning for what another has, instead of being grateful for all that one does have. Marcus Aurelius reminds himself in Meditations to remind yourself how grateful or how much you would yearn for the things you have if you did not have them. And I believe we must do this constantly on a daily basis. But that's beside the point with the talk of envy and how it can be good and how it can be a guide. But it is a tool, and all tools used wrongly are bad, are dangerous, and can harm oneself and even kill oneself. And envy is no different. And if you can come to be honest with yourself, because you are the easiest person to fool, and that is not a good thing. But if you can come to be honest and not biased and truly understand why you're feeling the feelings you're feeling, envy can become a powerful tool because you can understand, oh, I envy this person because he's doing something that I don't think I can do, but I really want to do it. And maybe I should just go for it because your soul is telling you to go for it because it's yearning for it. But if you can say, oh, I'm envious of this person because it seems like he's quote unquote happy, but I really don't know. And I'm envious of him because he's getting all these pleasures, but pleasures aren't a good thing. Pleasures are very fleeting, very, very fleeting. And when the pleasure is gone, you are left with disgrace and a diminished soul. So being able to understand why you're envious, where it's coming from, and if it's really if it's truly envy, or if it's, I guess it's really envy in either case, but understand whether this envy is guiding you towards what you should be doing or just making you jealous of what someone appears to have when you truly don't know. As I said in the beginning of this video, you must know an awful lot about somebody and what they do before you can formulate an opinion. So often nowadays, too, people want to have what people have, but they don't want to do what they did. And that's another very dangerous thing because envy comes out of that. You can see some of these successful people on, with their podcasts or with anything, and they may seem like they're overnight successes. And you're like, oh, I wish he's so lucky. I wish I had that. But do you want to do what they did? Because often overnight successes are not overnight successes. They appear to be, but it's been after years of diligent hard work, of hitting the grindstone day in and day out without any results. So much uncertainty as if what they're doing is right, if anyone cares, if it even matters. but you just see the final product of this person, like Jeff Bezos. I'm pretty sure Jeff Bezos like lived in like a garage for like 3 years trying to do Amazon and trying to like work it out. And no one would have envied Jeff Bezos on year 3 when it's not looking good. He's looking like he's gonna have to go get a 9 to 5 somewhere. This, that, and the other. But immediately, he's one of the most envied man in the world now because of what he has. But so many people wouldn't want to do what he did. And that's when envy can be dangerous because you don't just get results. You get what you give. And if you have to give a lot to get a lot. And when you just expect to get without giving, that is very dangerous. And envy lives there. And to be unaware that there's a lot of things behind the scene that you don't understand, that you don't know the hard work that goes in day in and day out to have a life like that. And all you see is the, 15-minute or, once in a week, once in a month thing that the person does. And you imagine that that's the life and that they're living the life and that your life sucks. That's when envy is a bad tool. Very, very bad tool. But if you can realize that and realize that you actually want to do what they did to have what they have, it's a perfect tool. And it can guide you towards meaning, purpose, so many things. So, like all tools, use envy wisely.